Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Venom issue 9, Legacy number 174. This is from Marvel Comics, written by Donny Cates, pencils by Ryan Stegman, J.P. Mayer inker, Frank Martin color artist, VC's Clayton Cowles letterer, cover by Ryan Stegman, J.P. Mayer, and Edgar Delgado. Assistant editor Lauren Amaro, edited by Devin Lewis, executive editor Nick Lowe. Cover's okay, doesn't tell you anything about what's going on in the book. In fact, it's a little confusing. What's going on is Eddie is heading back to San Francisco to try and figure out why he showed up there while he was unconscious and the Venom suit was effectively driving him. So he's taking the Venom symbiote with him, but it's being largely non-responsive beyond emotional reactions that seem to be based on what he's feeling. It's not talking to him, it seems to be either catatonic or gone as far as mental ability goes. And he's not dealing well with that. He doesn't have a lot of human connections, so the suit was kind of his life and sort of his best friend. So he's having a lot of separation anxiety and grief from that, and it's really difficult for him. We learned about several members of his family dying of cancer and how he was hit by a car as a kid and it bankrupted the family, and how his father resents him and doesn't like him, but he wants to try and at least make some kind of amends with his dad and have some sort of relationship, even if it's not a great one. So he goes to his father's house and he sees this kid Dylan there, and things don't go real well. And Eddie ends up having to flee the scene, but it doesn't look like things are quite as they appear, and Eddie's in a really tough spot. This was actually a really good issue, but not because of any action elements. It's very much a story building, world building issue where a lot of different things are being brought together and we learn a lot about Eddie's past. It's a solid read, but it's definitely not going to be for everyone, and it is very much setting things up for later storylines very clearly. So I thought it was good to learn a lot about Eddie, and we get a little bit of sympathy for him and why he has a temper problem and kind of where he comes from. It doesn't excuse his actions, but it certainly does add a lot of character depth to him, and I thought they did a really good job with it. The art's solid Stegman art. It's actually some of his better work. I'm not a huge fan of his art style, but I've grown to accept it and not hate it. It's just a little too anime-ish for me, but it is pretty well done, and this is definitely an improvement over a lot of his work previously. So I think Ryan Stegman's getting better as an artist and more refined in his technique and his style, and it really shines through in this issue. But the story is really good. It does provide a lot of background stuff that's going to probably play into future issues, and I'm intrigued to see where it goes. So I'll recommend this. Probably not going to be worth a lot of money, and definitely not really worth the $4 cover price unless you're heavily invested in Venom. So if you're a big Venom fan, this is a good issue for building Eddie Brock as a character, but realistically it's a little overpriced at $4. Worth checking out though, so if you can find it for less than the cover price, I would say pick it up. I thought it was interesting, and if you're going to read Venom, this is definitely an issue that will add depth to the storylines. That'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel in other ways, links to my Patreon, Streamlabs, and Teespring store are in the description, and as always, we hope to see you on the next one.